Welcome to the Prodigies podcast, a forum for digging into the world of fitness, of health and wellness, of wholeness, specifically for teens and young adults. With special attention to the CrossFit athlete, we'll discuss all the things you want to know: training, competition, nutrition, mental health, injuries, hormones, social media, family, relationships, and more. Hey guys, this is Steph. I'm coming to you live from Prodigies podcast here at the Pit Fitness Ranch, and we are listening in tonight to a panel discussion with 4 amazing collegiate athletes that are here from the pit. They're about to hit their live button. We've hit our live button, and we're just going to listen in tonight and hear from Kylee, Kali, Gabby, and Alivia. Just hear what all they have to say about growing up here at the pit and working out at Triple River CrossFit as young kids into teenagers, and then going on to collegiate athletes. So just a reminder, we cover all things related to youth, health, and fitness here at the Pit Fitness Ranch, among other things, with a concentration on the CrossFit athlete quite often. So we got the girls all set up tonight. They're at a round table, which I'll let you see here in just a second. And then we have Brock and Autumn Yost, who are the head coaches and owners of Triple River CrossFit. They've been their coaches since these girls were little, and they're going to give lots of good questions and lots of great answers tonight as we hear from these athletes about what it's like to be a collegiate athlete, having grown up around the CrossFit world, which is a great modality for strength and conditioning for any athlete, including collegiate athletes. All right, so we're just working on the live.
We're going to go in 5 seconds. Here we go.
On the live portion here.
4, 3,
2, 1. All right.
1. You're on.
All right, we are officially live here at the Pit Fitness Ranch, and all right, and thanks for the introduction, ladies. So I want to mention one of our sponsors for tonight, our Victory Dress. All right, with that, LND, what's up? And then they're probably watching right now. We would be able to pull little things like this off without them, and so shout out to Victory Dress. Commercial featuring a new product they So from here on out, we're going to start asking a series of questions, and we're just going to kind of go around, and I want you guys to have fun with it. Okay, so I'll just take the floor from here.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. You guys were young, were into sports. Tell me about like the sports you played when you were little, like what drew you to the sports, and like what initially or eventually got you into the sport you're in now. So give us a little background of what you did when you were young, building up through high school, and why you chose that sport for college, and how you can start that for us.
So starting as a young child, I did almost anything. You name it, I did it. My parents were really good about letting me explore my options on wanting to explore them. I really got into softball. My dad, big baseball, softball kind of guy. You know that, you know that.
I think I can attest to that. I have an older brother, so he was in all the sports before I was. And I played about every sport possible. My brother was on the football team, so I was a cheerleader. My brother played soccer, I played soccer, baseball, softball, vice versa. I honestly love soccer and love softball. So it took a while for me to differentiate which one I wanted to do in college. And it actually, funny story, it actually got to the time where I was in 12U. And 12U was the breaking point because you're either going to go to 14U in softball or 14U in soccer. And my dad had told me, if you ever want me to come to a sporting event, you might want to choose softball. He just didn't like watching, running back and forth. But I was always a very aggressive child, so I love the aggressive.
Just about any sport that we possibly could. Yeah, I could list them off, but that won't make anything. Yeah. But I think my two favorite sports had to have been basketball and soccer. So I think, again, that was a rough battle for me trying to choose which one I wanted to do. But it came to middle school where I actually started like loving soccer, so I actually like love the sport. And it was actually Alivia Knapp, who I played with in high school. Her mom saw me playing and introduced me to club. And I had always seen Kali and Kylee playing club softball, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't think there's even a club soccer. So me being able to play that and being introduced to that with my coach, who I still train with today. And I actually played with him last night. So he's really helped me through getting to college, and same with Kylee, my dad's been a huge help through all of that, and my family as well. So them just being involved, getting me to camps, IB camps, just every single soccer game that they ever had me play. I might have hated running, and I still hate running, but yeah, still love the sport.
Yeah, same here. Always every single sport, and same with my family. My parents have always been super supporters. My brothers have pretty much molded me into the type of pretty person that I am today. And honestly, growing up, I thought basketball was going to be my sport. And then I got into middle school, and I was running cross country because I wasn't volleyball for 6 years. I told my mom, I'm not playing volleyball, I'm sticking with cross country. She said, no, you're playing volleyball. So I tried volleyball, fell in love with it, thought I was going to play college. And then going in my senior year, I had a top performer alumni, Heivilin, who graduated from Iowa and was a rower. And at first I kind of took her comments as like, oh, just thanks. Like, I appreciate you thinking that I could be really good at rowing. But then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, okay, why not try? So obviously nobody's heard of rowing. When I mentioned it to my parents, they're like, what the heck are you talking about? You've never done that in your life besides on a rowing machine. So once I got talking to some coaches and I really got to understand what the culture was, I fell in love with it. And CrossFit really helped with that. So I just want to give a shout out to my family for supporting me and changing that course, because that was a huge change. My almost all 18 years doing all these different sports, spending money on all this, and I go and change my course, but I wouldn't change anything about it.
Yeah, that is an interesting dynamic where you play travel softball, travel volleyball, you play your own basketball. Yeah, so you were in every elite level of every sport, and in the end of it, you just decided, not forget all of them, but you wanted to go outside the comfort zone a little bit and try rowing. How is that decision? What have what are some of the benefits that you've come to the conclusion that it's been a good decision in your mind to take on rowing?
Yeah.
Opposed to any of those other conventional sports. And also, how did CrossFit help prepare you for that? Because Heidi also, is a big D1 rower, and she went to our powerlifting program and did some CrossFit too. So, was it just pretty much an easy switch just right into it?
Well, it was not an easy decision going from volleyball to rowing. I had to give that up. But the school definitely helped. Eastern Michigan is a great school. They have a great business program. But yeah, it's
Scholarship only didn't hurt, right?
right. Yes, exactly. But yeah, I gotta say, a lot of people they've all been playing their sport forever, and eventually, sometimes people get burnt out. And with choosing rowing and maybe not sticking with volleyball, I don't have to necessarily worry about the burning out. And yes, there'll be good and bad days, but I don't have to worry about, I'm just gonna do this forever. I'm gonna hit mental blocks. I'm not gonna PR every time, but it's kind of going in a fresh start with no standards, and I can kind of just set the pace and set who I am in this new sport. I just feel like I'm living a whole new life doing this, and it just is so fresh and amazing. And I can't wait to do
I love the fact that you're bringing up burnout, and you guys, and that's part of the question I wanted to ask, because a lot of you guys are playing multiple sports growing up and eventually then specializing, but how important was that to prevent burnout by playing other sports? Do you think that helped? What helped not get burnt out before you got to that college level in the first place? If you guys have something, go ahead and chime in.
Yeah, I'll say I loved every sport growing up, honestly. It was super hard for me to make a decision. But I think just the passion that I had for softball and the love of going to it every day, and my brother was my biggest role model growing up. I wanted to do what he did, and he did baseball, so I'm going to do softball. He loved baseball, so I'm going to love softball. That's just how I was. And so he pushed me every single night, and my dad pushed me every single night to go hit, to go field, to go throw, to go catch, to do whatever it was I needed to get better at my sport. But at the same time, when it was basketball season, I focused on basketball. When it was volleyball season, I focused on volleyball. Now I would still hit here and there, and I would still throw here and there, but you need a break from what your sport is in that you're doing, no matter if you love it or not. You need a break so that you can mentally refocus, and when you get back to the sport that you're in, you love it, and you're not dreading it because you've been working on it so long. I think that's a big thing, is that for me, especially, during volleyball, I wanted to focus on volleyball, and then as soon as volleyball was over, then I moved to basketball. As soon as basketball was over, then I moved to softball. And I knew that softball was my favorite thing, and I knew that I wanted to do that in college, so it wasn't like I didn't do it for months or weeks on end. I would still do things here and there, but I had so much passion for the other sports that I think that helped me have more passion and more excited when it came to my softball season.
I love that, because I get the impression that now that there's so many club teams and it's easy to specialize, that people are burning out or they're only focused on one thing. So I like to bring up the point that when you're in season for another sport, you're all into that, because mentally that gives you a break from the one sport that you know you're going to specialize in going forward for years and years. So I think that's a really good message for the young athletes out there that are not sure if they should or shouldn't play another sport to supplement. Do you guys all agree that that's been super beneficial for you guys?
Yeah. And I think that's good too, for probably what Liv was about to say, that as a young kid, you should try out every sport. You should try to see what you love and what you love more than that and what you like. You don't just want to stick to one sport, because then you could get burned out because you didn't experience everything else. And I met them through sports. I wouldn't know anybody. And Gabrielle, they started with our brothers playing football and baseball. That's how I feel like you create your friendships and create your memories, is by what you do with the people that you love.
My piggyback on that was just I think CrossFit has helped with that a lot, because you come in here, or starting fresh with this, I had no idea what I was doing at first, we talked about that. So being able to do something I've never done before, like rowing, it helps take the mental break and just absolutely destroy my body out here. Showing what I can do to compare to the soccer field. So doing something totally opposite is good for like my mental health and like my body physically to see what else I can do on the soccer field.
I think different sports also bring different life lessons. Like everything holds different perspectives, different things you're doing with your body, pushing you out of your comfort zone in different ways. And I think that's like it helps grow, like mentally, physically, anything. I think that really is a good thing to have through different sports.
So overall, you guys would all recommend being a three-sport athlete in high school?
Oh, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
a four-sport athlete, honestly, because
At one point,
we were. You know, like obviously, like in every sport, you want to be the strongest you can be, you want to be the most fit, you want to be the most athletic. And when I was in 7th grade, I was offered the opportunity to powerlifting. And that is what made me grow the love of weightlifting and CrossFit and stuff like that, because I saw the growth that I had from 6th grade to 7th grade, which is a short period of time, and even from 7th grade to my junior year in college. I do CrossFit every time I come home. I do it as much as I can. And it mentally, like as Liv said, it mentally makes me a better athlete. But along with that, it also makes me a stronger athlete. And, you know, like me personally, like, I like to push my other athletes because like there's so many people on my team. Like Kristen White's a good example. She's so strong, but she doesn't use it. And as soon as somebody pushes her, she's like, oh, okay. And then she gets the point, and then she pushes somebody else. And I feel like it's just a trickle effect when you have those people surrounding you that want to make you better. And powerlifting at such a young age gets you to understand like how much it takes and what you can gain from something like that.
Oh, yeah. That's something you ended your powerlifting career with, what, like 355 pound WFS?
That was ridiculous.
Well, just
350.
just
It was just 350.
Just 350.
I was
Can't take that much
trying to-
credit.
I was trying to juice up a little bit.
I agree with that. I can't take that.
Well, 350.
Well, I think like we wouldn't be sitting here having this if we wouldn't have met you guys through strength and conditioning or here at Triple River CrossFit. So how did you guys take that first step and walk in the door? Like what got you through the door? Because I know sometimes that's the hardest part, like just getting started. And I know a couple of you guys that have been working on here since you were babies. I remember you were like elementary school kids and learning how to squat, and I just have good memories. But tell me, like, did your family push you? Did you push yourself? Like, what got you to start to do more than just the sport specific stuff?
We all had to pay.
Yes, it was Hadley. I will fully give credit to
Goes-
Hadley Miller on this one.
I would tell Sally in my garage, she's like 10 years old, and I'm trying to beat her.
Oh,
as like a
she's
girl,
insane.
and she at 10 years, and I'm like, okay, this girl is
I could stop
So
doing CrossFit
brilliant.
for 10 years and still be amazing.
She was doing pretty good spots on set. What, how old was she? Well,
I don't know. I questioned a little bit when I stood right over there, and she was crying during a workout right before I was about to go do one, and I was like,
But I think like Kelly, like the emotion you get, and like let out, and like just that release you get from like working out, like
Oh, yeah.
sometimes it's not like you're upset. It's just like you're working so hard, you're putting it all out there, like you feel that, man. Okay, sorry. So
So I'll say that it started as a joke with Hadley. You're like, after you eat that sandwich, are you gonna do 15 burpees or like just funny stuff like
those
that?
insecurity jokes.
That we just
Yeah.
we dug into her.
Yeah.
That credit to her, she took it all the time. But then finally, it was like, oh, now Callie's doing it. Oliv's doing it. I guess I should do it. And then it was like, wow, we all really like this. And then I feel like that's really what got me in there. And then a little bit about me, I tore my ACL my junior year.
yeah,
And
I was bringing that up. I was going to mention that. So.
that was one of the hardest times of my life, sitting on a recliner, just like a lump on a log. And after I could finally move, I started doing CrossFit before I was even released for my sports. And I was scaling everything. You name it, I was doing it different. But I was getting in here and moving my body, and like that just evolved over time to where it's like, oh, now I can do it full range, or wow, I can actually do this. This is great. And I think that's really what drove me here, kept me here, made me fall in love with it. And now I just find so much joy, like when I'm working out at 5 a.m. in the back corner.
Yeah, like,
5
yeah,
a.m.
shout out
Yeah.
to Kylee. She's been a consistent 5 a.m. workouter all through my summer. She comes home, like, kudos, girl. That's amazing. 5 a.m.
Yeah, I love my people in there.
Yeah.
You guys have all been. You guys have all been in early though at one time.
Yeah, you guys are some 6 a.m.ers. I know
You guys
you guys
have
in
been
high school. I've been working at a.m. Like, that's impressive. It takes some dedication.
You spend a zero.
Heck yeah, Bobcat warm up, baby.
Hey,
Bobcat warm up.
you know. For me, my CrossFit actually started with my brother. He did CrossFit a lot sooner before I did. And I was just a little bigger when I was I was
Genetically gifted.
genetically gifted. That's a good way to put it.
You
Yeah.
had your
Yeah.
winter coat
But-
on.
But yeah, so we all. But I knew that I wanted to get more fit, and so like I said earlier, like I wanted to follow my brother's footsteps, and so he started doing CrossFit, and then my mom was like, maybe she should try it. So then she tried it, and then she's like, all right, I think you're gonna like this. And I actually started with CrossFit Kids. I don't know what age that is, but it's young, like itty bitty. And so I started when I did that, and I came every single week. And then as I got older, I started being able to go to big kids class. And then after that, I was able to go to the real CrossFit class, and it kind of just progressed from there. And this sport, because CrossFit is a sport, and I love that this is my second sport. And what I love most about this sport is you don't have to come in here and do muscle ups like everybody else. You don't have to come in here and do a 185-pound clean because there's somebody in the back that's doing it. You don't have to compare yourself to others, and that's the problem that people do, especially as females, is you compare yourself to other people, and you don't want to get too big. You don't want to look too muscular, but at the same time, you got to do what's best for you. Like, for instance, today we did chest bar pull-ups. I did 5 in a minute every time because my shoulder isn't the best, and I don't need to hurt myself. There's no point. But like Kylee said, I came in here and moved myself, and there were 5 other movements that, okay, I'm better at the barbell, I'm going to do those. But I used a band as well. Like, you don't have to come in here and be like, oh, somebody's doing that, I have to do the chest bars, I have to do the muscle ups because I have to compare myself to the people. As long as you're getting in here, you're moving, you're doing what's strong for you, you're doing what's, the best for you. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing as long as you are competing to the best of your ability.
So my CrossFit journey started with you guys, actually. Kylee, and Kylee. I liked working out, but it wasn't really working out, to be honest. So, just like, I was intimidated to come in here. Like, there's a set routine that people do in here. So, like, coming in by yourself, for anyone that does that, like, kudos to you, because I felt like I couldn't. Like, I was like, Callie, are you going today? Like, I want to go. If you're not going, I'm not going, kind of thing. So, just like having people that surround you, and obviously our gym is a big community. Like, I've been to plenty other gyms down in Florida and just all around, and nothing compares to how this gym is. But yeah, being in here with you guys definitely helped me learn to love it, because the first few times I came in here, it was not pretty, it was not good, and I just hated it. It hurt. I didn't want to do it.
I feel like a lot of people run from that feeling. I mean, it's almost seems obvious to run from an uncomfortable feeling, but that has to be the number one reason why an athlete, because an athlete can really take it, go to a place. And it's
I went to a place.
If you can really
Places.
yeah.
Yeah, LND Mountain.
Hurts. I love it.
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Straight
A run.
But I don't know if you guys do this, so like, go through a hard workout, whatever, but I use that mentality then when I'm doing something else hard in my life. Like, you guys maybe use it in your sport. I will do something like, okay, I can do hard things. And it mentally makes me stronger to do harder things in life, because that's something you guys find makes you mentally tougher, like on the field with the court and all that.
I do that. I do that a lot in our own weight room. It's like, man, this rep's hard. It's like, but wait, in the summer I did this, and this, and then it's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. So, I would definitely say that's.
I do that in school.
Yeah.
I took my last farm final exam, and
Farm?
biology.
Oh.
Someone came up to me and said, you can do hard things. And I literally started crying, but guess what? I passed the class.
Yeah.
So we're
Snap.
good.
That's what I use it in work, where I have like a hard deadline, and I'm like, I can do hard things. I've done the Bermuda Triangle. I can do this thing at work.
Especially time frames. Like, I can do anything. I can do anything for a minute. I can do anything for 2 minutes. I can do anything for 3 minutes. We just keep.
I like it when Autumn asks me to help carry the groceries in, and I try to come back to the
Oh, yeah, put all of
He's
the
farmer,
hard
he's farmer
Hey,
carrying it.
I don't
The
have
less
to help. I
trips.
carry the groceries myself,
Yes.
all in one trip.
the less trips though.
I like when my mom goes grocery shopping, she pulls into the garage, it's right there, little couple steps.
That's the joke about CrossFitters who go grocery shopping. We'll drive around the parking lot for like 15 minutes looking for the closest spot.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? They'll come in here and just grind
Yeah.
for an hour.
That sounds all right.
And I think Kelly started to touch on this, and this kind of leads into the next question. Like, as females who lift, I mean, I've heard it through my whole career as a trainer and a coach. Like, be careful with that weight. Don't get too bulky. That looks dangerous. Like, how do you guys like deal with that? Do you find that that's so common for you guys, and what do you do to deal with that when you hear that?
I think it used to be more common than it does now. I mean, that's my opinion anyway. But I think that I've always had, and probably these three as well, have always had the mindset of I don't care what other people have to say because honestly, like, if I want to lift a certain amount of weight and somebody tells me no, well, then it's just going to make me even more mad. So then I'm just going to prove them wrong anyway. So I think that as an athlete, if you have that mentality of do what you want to do and prove to other people that you can be successful in the aspect of what you're doing, then that's what's just going to make you successful.
Yeah, and honestly, growing up, becoming, because I did CrossFit when I was super young, before you guys back in the
Oh, yeah.
cage. Because I always wanted, yeah.
What were you like 6 years old, 7 years?
Yeah, I was really
Baby
trying
dad,
to,
yeah.
I was really trying to keep up with my brothers. I wanted to be better than my brothers, and that was always the image that I had is I want to do what my brothers doing, I want to beat them. If they're doing it, I'm doing it. But growing up, I was trying to hang with the guys because I had brothers. So I was trying to hang with the guys, I was trying to keep up with the guys. But it got to a point where the guys became insecure because I was stronger. It was that age where girls kind of go above the guys, but then eventually the guys will surpass.
I remember that point, bro.
Yeah.
I remember the specific point.
I
So-
was not like Kali yet, where I didn't care. I did care at that point.
That's okay, yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine, but do you remember really what it was? So you're coming for 0 hour, we were doing all those workouts, we were doing like a 3-rep max tank.
Yeah.
And I think you're in 8th grade, you hit like 125 or something like that
Yeah.
for 3. And none of, they're all learning how to clean at the time.
Yeah.
But I remember you smoked everybody, and those guys were feeling some sort of a way. So they probably, were there comments and stuff like that coming from that? type of
Yeah,
thing?
there were. I got called a guy all the time, or like,
Yeah.
or if I was dating somebody, I would be called a boyfriend instead.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I would say I got bullied in a way by some of the guys, but it made me stronger in the end. Like I look back and it made me stronger and it made me not care about what they had to say. Like I'm comfortable in my own body. I'm doing what's best for me. And if you're gonna be insecure for yourself, I'm sorry. Like I'm trying to do what I'm best at.
Kind of sorry.
Well,
Ish.
like
Depends
Yeah, you feel bad for them almost.
yeah, like we are all on different pages, and it doesn't matter. There are people who are younger than me who are better than me, but it's gonna happen. That's what drives people different ways. You need that. You need somebody below you or above you to be better than you, so then you have something to strive for and something to get better from.
I
And
can
that-
attest to that.
You guys all have like sounds like when I hear you guys talk, like your mental game is like on point. Like
and CrossFit
okay,
has helped
okay,
me.
with awesome.
All right, absolutely, 100%.
Do you like feel like
It's-
you just like were born with some of that? Your family's like fostering that? Like what's giving you guys this strong mental?
For me,
Yes.
if I ran into a mental block, if I was feeling like, oh, I'm sucking right now, for me, it was just, I gotta keep going. Because if I stop, that's when I get destroyed. I just know that I don't want to go in that place. So for me, I just keep going.
You guys
just
remind me of like
keep
this
going.
quote I saw. It's like, you don't want to know the number one thing that determines how successful you're going to be in life? Grit. Like just grit. Like what you're saying. Like when it's hard, I fight harder. I can do hard things. I can prove people wrong.
As
I love
long as
that.
you keep
So,
going.
yeah.
I mean, whether it's at a 2 pace or a 10 pace, like it's yeah, whatever.
Is that your rowing
Rowing.
pace?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I want to know.
Yeah, sure.
Gabby said it's
But-
section.
Well, so I know nothing about rowing besides the concept two makes in the door one. And so you are in a specific position on your team, right?
Yes.
It's like you're like a pace setter.
Yes, it's called straight seat.
How's it called about that?
So in a boat, it's backwards pretty much. So I'm in the back of the boat, but I'm facing the coxswain. So everybody's facing me. So my back is turned to everybody else. I can't see the finish line. I can't see people behind me. So essentially, I am setting the pace for everybody else. So however fast I'm moving back and forth, that's how fast they're moving. So we all have to work together. I have to read them, they have to read me. And that's what the short seat is. But all seats are important. That is just the one that I am starting to develop in right now.
So it takes a strong mindset to hold that position, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit more than another position, because you sort of have to lead by the mindset.
Yes,
almost.
my
Lead
coach,
by what you have.
yes, my coach had sat me down, and we had been doing some switching around. So when I first got into, obviously, when on the boat, I wasn't always a short seat. I went to 7, which is a seat right behind. So we've been flipping, and it got to the time where we're about to race, and she sat me down. She had told me, she said, I saw you run in our tryouts and our fitness tests, and the way you turn it on, when some people would turn it off, that's the kind of person I want on the short seat. And CrossFit has taught me that. When you have 10 seconds left, how many more reps can you get? It doesn't matter how many reps you just got. How many more can you get now in that minute, in that 10 seconds, in that 5 seconds? Because it's not over until it hits 0.
All the way to the finish line.
All the way through.
Well, this is probably a good time to take a break. For our sponsor has this sweet commercial of a new product that said they can lend you victory grips. Have a really cool product that they want to show you guys, and I want you to enjoy this little commercial they put together right now. So we're officially on the break right now.
Yeah, we're off mic. Okay.
Yeah.
Liv, move your mic closer to you, will you?
How long do we got?
About
50 seconds.
All of us, or just?
Oh, we
Oh,
run
you have
it twice.
50
or-
seconds.
We run it twice, or no? We run it 2 times. No commercial.
Sure.
Is it?
Like back to back?
Just to give them a little bit more time.
We're good.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
you
Gabby.
guys are good?
They're fine.
Are you good?
You doing good, Gavin?
This commercial is good.
Yeah, you guys sound great.
Thanks, Gab.
You girls sound great.
I don't know how much time we got, but it's coming back here in a second.
Okay.
No, we're gonna run it twice, bro? You
No,
wanna run
you're
it
good.
again?
One's
You're good.
good. One's
Unless you already.
Nope, I didn't do it.
We'll watch.
Okay, we're back live.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of switch gears here. We started to touch on it, but something I think is really important that I want you guys to talk about, and I want you to get the message to young athletes, female athletes, like mental health issues has been really big in like college sports in the last couple of years. Why do you think the pressure for female athletes is so intense in the culture that we're in right now? What do you think is driving some of that? And what do you guys do in your own personal lives to like take care of your mental health, not just your physical health?
So I think that mental health stereotype, or not stereotype, but we're always chasing a stereotype. We're always chasing to be stronger than the boys, faster than the boys, be like the major leagues when there's a pro softball team too. Like it's always trying to beat that stereotype. And I think separating yourself from what that is and kind of soaking up what's internal and realizing that you are doing it for you. You are doing it to be your best self. You are doing it to beat your own records. You are doing it for you and not trying to chase a bar that is set for you. I think you should set your own bars and you chase the bars that you want to chase. I don't think that somebody sets my bar. I'm kind of like, why? Like I want to do that for me. I want to pick what I do. I want to pick how I do it. My mom can tell you that. My mom can tell me I was always strong-willed, but I think that's just a great approach that I found successful through my whole career is your bar is not the same as my bar, but I'm still going to push myself to get to a higher bar. And I think that's different across the board. Your bar is not my bar. Your bar is not her bar. It's like there's so many different ways to go about this. And just appreciating what you can do, your body can do, your ability, everything is a great way to go about it, in my opinion. So
I think Autumn, you said it earlier that women were lifting, like we were just like looked down on. And I think again going back to like how we are talked about as well, just
it's mainly men and how they talk about it. And I think that it has a big part in our mental health now. It's just like us not being seen as, again, our norm, not being able to reach those goals. And I feel like there's people that do want to push us down and that don't possibly want to see some women succeed. And I feel like it's different from everyone. But I've dealt with that, especially this year with mental health. I don't want to say it's a mental health issue. It was a knee issue. And it was just an injury, an ankle injury. And we talk about, adversity and finding yourself, not specifically within your sport. Like, you are more of a person than just your sport. And I think for me personally, like, I'm in the nursing program, I'm in soccer, I have a family, I have a boyfriend, I have friends. Like, there's just so much that has to do with who I am, and it's not specifically soccer. And it's not necessarily specifically CrossFit or weightlifting. It's not how much I'm lifting every single day. But just being able to, like, find myself and overcome obstacles like that was big for me in my mental health. And I think the thing that helped me the most was having people that could surround me, but also me being able to find myself within the Lord and being able to reach out to Him and grow closer to Him throughout this season. But I wouldn't be able to do that without the people that I had surrounding me in the nursing program, my soccer team, and my family.
Yeah, I think I can go along with that. As Kylie said, each person is different, but that's what makes you who you are. Everybody is different. Everybody has their own personal traits. Everybody's special in their own way. And I think it's something big that people have to understand, that, like, I'm not going to compare myself to Kylie. She's a pitcher, but I'm also not going to compare myself to Ashley Pringy because she's a hitter. And I'm not going to compare myself to Kristen White because she's like, it's like, I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm a second baseman. I'm going to focus on second base. I'm not going to focus on what Kelly's doing at short. I'm going to focus on second. And it's just little things like that. And off of what Liv said, having a support system around you is what's going to make you excel and make you different. Because for me, there has been lots of mental things in my head starting with freshman year. I came in there, I had never failed in my life, ever. I'd always gone on every travel team and always done really well. And then I get to college and I struggled, and I had never done that before. And that was extremely hard for me. But because the people at Alabama were so supportive and all they wanted to do was help you be you, because we literally have in our locker room, it says person over athlete. And as soon as that's like our door into the locker room. Like, that's literally what they focus on. And we have so many things there that help you realize how important you are as a person, not an athlete. But for me personally, what I did was I had to focus on myself. You journal. I go on a walk on the river. I go have lunch with some friends, a different person all the time. Like, take a break from homework, take a break from softball. You don't have to go hit every day. You don't have to go pitch every day. You don't have to go play soccer. You don't have to row. Like, you don't have to do everything every day to be a good athlete. Like, a lot of it, I learned that a lot of it is in your head. It's what you learn about yourself more than what you learn from other people through your sport. If that makes sense.
Athletics are going to push you, and they are going to, like you said many times, take you places. And I think making sure you know that fine line of, I'm an athlete, but I'm also a person, like you said. Like, for me, I'm a softball player from 2 to 5 during the weekdays, and I'm a softball player Friday, Saturday, Sunday. After that, I'm not. Like, I get my breaks. I'm a student. I'm a friend. Like, there has to be that definite line of, like, I am more than what I'm here to do, although I still identify as what I'm here to do. So making sure we can rotate those in and out was something that I learned that was really valuable, because, I mean, my friends come over after practice and we talk a little bit about softball, but that's not our whole night. And it can't be the whole night, because then it consumes you. And then there has been times where I go to bed thinking about one pitch from one game that keeps me up for the rest of the night. But then it's like, I have to go play again tomorrow. How do I beat this? And just really adapting to what that throws at you, I think is really beneficial. So.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a fine line. And with sports and school, you have to remember that school is the most important. That sports won't be here forever. Yes, you can continue on and do it for fun, but competitively, it's only going to be there for a short time. So you also have to take time into your personal life, into your career and your education, whatever that may be. And you need to focus on that and make that your first priority, because that's what's gonna get you a living in life. And so if you pride yourself too much on what you're doing in the gym or wherever you are, your priorities are gonna shift, and that's gonna also hurt your mental. So you have to straighten your priorities first, and then that will take you for your first step in establishing your mental health. Because I see a lot of people, like you said, I did the same thing, especially in high school. You get stuck on one mislayup, that one bad pitch, or maybe you struck out and that was game over. But it's also, like my dad said, 100 people are trying to care less. Like, and you might be worse at that for it, but I mean, in reality, it's just this little thing in this huge life, and you can either learn from it or dread on it. And I think we should all choose to learn from it.
I think you brought up a good point about the 100 people in China.
I love that.
I mean,
That's a great
it's
point.
true. Like, I miss one pitch that goes 400 feet center field. Nobody's gonna remember that.
Nobody's gonna remember.
Nobody nitpicks it that much, but you do. And
Yeah.
so, kind of like shifting that mindset to like,
And it's hard.
okay. And I think one of the big things that my coach really harps on is one pitch at a time. But once that one pitch is done, it's done. Like, you have to keep moving on. You have to not beat yourself up about it. You have another job to do, and you can 100% accomplish that, because then I can go back and get a strike, and another strike, and then a strikeout if I really want to. Like, that's something obviously you try to do every time, but knowing that, okay, one bad one, I can make up for it right here, a good one. And that's within 5 minutes of each other. Like, you can do that.
I think you can test off of that, because if you think about it, how many kids care about what you did in your performance? Like, you think about it, she's a pitcher. Girls don't care about how many strikeouts she had. She's a pitcher. Like, nobody cares about how many, what do you defense? I was like, how many tackles you have, right? But people don't understand. Like, kids don't understand. Like, they don't understand. They're there to see their role models. They're there to see you succeed and be like, I want to be like her. Honestly, like, a prime example is Montana. Like, she has grown. Like, yeah.
The famous picture.
The Montana. But honestly, like, she.
By the way.
What'd you say?
How tall?
6'2".
6'2". I'm just for the viewers at home.
Yeah. Like her,
Google it.
me. But going off of her, like, she's a great example. She could not have the best game, but after every single game, we legitimately, the whole team had to go in front of Montana and sign autographs, because the girls were there for her. They wanted to, she was the role model. They didn't care about, oh, she gave up a home run. I don't care. I'm here to see Montana. Like, having that mindset of, and she did great with that. Like, she taught us as well. Like, it's more than a game.
I just want to remind you guys that your spirit versus Montana Fox is all for it. You guys are here, so thank you. Like, we're gonna get autographs after this.
Oh, gosh.
I think that's what sports and CrossFit has done to us, though. Like, it's made us into great leaders.
Absolutely.
And I don't strive to be a role model, but I strive to be like a great leader and to be able to help my teammates out, my friends, my family. Like, I'm not here to sign autographs. Like, that's awesome. That's so cool. But I'm here to help others, and I think that's also what led me into nursing, sadly, but also greatly.
It's good
Um,
life lessons. too.
Yeah, but just having great leadership, and that comes with being able to cheer each other on at 5 a.m., at 8:30 a.m., me at 9:30 when I come in from sleeping late.
She did yell that through the road this morning.
I feel like
I came in late.
I feel like leadership also comes by example, and that is like 100% of the people that walk through that door right there. I mean, I'm in that corner, but I see all of them, and it's like, okay, let me try to hang with her. I want to be like her. I want to lift as much as him. Like, and you don't always have to just say it. Like, somebody's watching, and I think that's really important to remember, because like, I stand back here with Pam, and I'm like, I want to be like
Pam was gonna get brought
Of
in.
course Pam was gonna get brought up. Of course Pam was gonna get brought
Hey,
up.
shout out Pam. What?
Pam's a 50-year-old in here busting her ass every
Excel
morning. Like,
basketball?
she's a,
She says
but that's
she's
why I love the gym, because like Pam's a role model for me, and then I'm
Yeah.
a role model for you guys. It's like it contagious. Like,
Yes.
you guys are role models for my daughter, who's a high schooler, and she's a role model for the element. Like, it just trickles
It's a
down, and I
trickle
love having that in our community. What a blessing we have to have this space, and you guys continue to do what you do because it's making a difference for so many people you guys just don't realize. But same thing with the people that are above you that you're looking up to, they're making a difference. I just love that about this place. It's my favorite thing. Anyhow.
Yes, thank you guys for creating this culture.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But, and I will say to all the bros out there
Oh, yeah.
with the insecurity problems, maybe chill out a little bit. Learn how to do a hang clean, learn some good deadlift form, and get some, some.
It's not, do something like bench press and.
I mean, my brother's pretty fit, and I beat him in a workout the other day, so,
Yeah, I was just saying.
I mean,
So real quick, let's go. I'm gonna derail Adam. So what? Tell me what if you guys have like an ideal workout.
Anything wall walls.
Anything,
Wall
oh yeah,
Love
you got
wall
that,
balls.
yeah, you got
like that 50-40.
I'm sorry, could you, what?
Oh,
that. What?
the chipper.
Oh,
The
like,
50.
oh, like a 50-40.
I don't know names of any workouts.
I really like any partner workout. I like from my partner to push me and me push my partner. I love Mondays. Mondays are,
It's really motivational.
and guess who my partner is? Pam!
Mondays are partner workouts every week here at Triple River CrossFit.
She pushes me. She pushes the crap out of me.
I was coaching on Monday as partner Monday, and I said, we're thinking about making Mondays not partner, and people lost their, I was just testing the water. The
Water was
That is not.
It's not gonna happen, I know.
The water
show up
was
on Mondays.
10 round Tuesday, you can switch out of
Yeah, can we switch to 30 rounds of 10 burpees and like
I love Saturdays.
Yeah,
Give me a 4-man workout.
Saturday is our community day, community workouts. It's usually teams of 4.
And now they're really hard.
It's constantly varied, okay?
There were some times, like, man, I can't wait to go to Saturday. It's so easy.
Yeah,
And
now it's
sometimes
like,
you come up going, I'm like, dang, I'd really get a rest here.
We got 12 days of Christmas coming up this Saturday.
Yeah,
Oh,
those.
wait, what day is that?
Saturday.
I gotta say the holiday, like those holiday
Okay.
workouts, like when they draw, like
The
Murph,
dessert table?
those are the hardest,
Yeah.
like community wise.
Well, listen, we have you guys here, and I don't wanna miss an opportunity to let you guys like brag on yourselves a little bit. You guys have some of, yes, yes.
Yeah.
You have some
Yeah.
amazing accomplishments. I want to make sure that you guys get a chance to say that. So just tell me something in your athletic career, special, important to you that you've done. Like I could say what I think, but I want you guys to tell everybody what you think is the biggest accomplishment you
Let me
have.
do the humble clause.
Yeah. You guys are all very humble, so
Yeah.
let it out though.
Go ahead, Kelly.
All right, I'll support different. I think for me is the accomplishment is not necessarily. No, mine's not an award. Mine's not an award.
We
Well,
were
then
not
maybe
being
we'll
humble,
have to-
remember?
We'll have to do it.
Do you currently hold the home run record for Michigan?
High school home run record for the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Were
a
you
yes.
Gatorade Player of the Year?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's just get that
Did we
started.
just
Take
go to
it out.
Oklahoma
Do
to
you-
watch you in the World Series?
You did.
Flash. Okay. Continue. Go ahead.
Strike out. There we go.
Get out
So,
of here.
but I think growing as a person is my biggest accomplishment because my freshman year, every time I got in the batter's box, I was scared. So I didn't perform. And because I have grown in the last year and a half, has allowed me to get back to myself, as Brock said. Like, I had 8 home runs last year.
8 home runs. I just want to make sure you guys heard that.
8 home
I had 8
runs.
home runs, but there were so many opportunities
She
that
plays
either
at
went
Alabama.
foul or got robbed. And just like knowing that and having that confidence going into this year, I think was the biggest thing for me because it's not necessarily like a Gatorade Player of the Year award. Like that's not what signifies who I am. It's how much growth can you have in a year to get back to the home runs, to get back to the confidence. Because I think that is what has changed me and improved me as a player. And the biggest award that I have is growing so much from freshman year to sophomore year. So now when I get back in the box, I'm like, okay, I can do this instead of freshman year me freaking out to disappoint one of my teammates.
My growth is definitely a big one, but gaining confidence on the field was the hardest thing I had learned to do.
Right.
Just like walking on with all these girls from different countries. I've never played with a girl from a different country ever in my life. So walking on knowing I'm playing with someone from Spain, someone from Sweden, I'm like, oh shoot, do they play different soccer over there?
They play football.
They play football.
Did your team like make it really far this
Yeah.
year too? Like you're a part of that, yeah. Like, well, how far
Yeah,
did you
all
guys do this year?
So all 3 years, my freshman year, we won the Sun Conference, but I didn't play a lot freshman year. Again, I was still like building that confidence to be able to walk on the field. Last year, we were runners up for Sun Conference Championship, and then same with this year. But I felt like our team was more put together last year and this year, and we've made it. The farthest we've made it was this year into second round of nationals. Obviously, we didn't make it to final site, but that's the goal for
Second round of nationals, yeah. That's the goal next year.
And you took some of the homegrown mentality along with you guys this year, right? Didn't you run with the lead, no doubt?
Yeah.
Tagline.
That comes along with my leadership for sure. I wanted to put that in there because you implemented that into us, into the gym, into our sports. So that was huge. But there was something missing in our team, and I didn't know what it was. But you need that grit, and I feel like Leave No Doubt, Kylee was saying to me earlier that it is different for everyone. I can leave a totally different doubt than she can on the court, on the field, in the gym. Like it's different for everyone. So being able to send that into my team and bring something from home,
Right.
there was definitely special. And we use it every time. So I hope they continue to do that.
That's cool.
Awesome.
I get so excited to tell my team, like when you guys comment on my Instagram photos, LND, and they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you what it means. And so, like, it's just a great conversation starter, but I think it's great for everybody to know what your version is. Now you take it and run with it. What is your LND? Because it's not mine, or it might be. What do you do with it?
But don't try to avoid the question, Kylie.
Starting,
Gabby. You're like a starter, like what's
I think my biggest accomplishment for myself is just the evolution of a player that I am. I mean, my freshman year, like you said, it's one of those things that you come into and it's very much like, okay, where do I belong? What do I do? What am I gonna be? What kind of player am I gonna be? And my freshman year, I was a closer. I was 6th, 7th inning, maybe 5 I'll come in there every once in a while, maybe once a weekend. So like last year, I was throwing every other game. I was getting in every game. I was seeing both sides of the field. I was pitching and I was hitting. And
You're hitting good too.
yeah,
Kind of rare.
finally.
Right.
But that was a challenge that I went through my freshman and my sophomore year. Is I felt like I lost my ability to hit completely. Confidence, fundamentals. It's like what happened? And I mean, at 22 years old, I'm still learning something new about my sport every day. And I feel like that's what I was able to build up and absorb everything. And then my coach is telling me, you got it. Like, you can do it. And really having to put that in me and believe that is kind of where it got me to second team all conference last year. So
Second team all conference, see? Yeah.
Dude, and you also had Oklahoma on the ropes.
Really good.
This year, you're seven. Okay, so Oklahoma, if for those who don't know, Oklahoma was an absolute tear last year. And
and the year before.
This
And
was
the
good.
year
So
before
are
that.
they 3-time national champs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so right? Kali, a little salty. Or-
No, I love Oklahoma, but I just don't like it. They're so good.
I gotcha. Jordy Ball is CrossFit, no?
Jordy Ball, my girl, she doesn't know that though.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
She's unaware of that,
But anyway,
We'll get it.
you were shutting them out for how many innings? Was it?
6.
6?
6.
A lot.
Yeah, that's tough.
so you know, CrossFit.
It was 2 nights ago in the 7th. But that came from a teammate. That came from a teammate of someone who stood in front of me right before I went out to the circle, and she said, "You have nothing to lose. You either get hit like crazy and fall into the mesh with every other pitcher, or you beat them and you're the standout girl that everybody's like, who is that?" Like,
you have nothing to lose. And right before I went out there is when I really was like, she's right. I mean, I don't. And that kind of changed my approach for the rest of the season, to be honest, because it's like, I'm going to go with what's my personal best, and that's my LND. That's my leave no doubt during that game. I'm going in with my best. Here we go. And I think, yeah, that was a really big game for me mentally. So
I'm gonna piggyback off of Liv's LND because as Brock knows, like leaving this community at CrossFit was the hardest thing for me. Like they're all I knew, and the people here were all I knew. So me going 10.5 hours away from home was hard. But as soon as I got there, I like calmed down. But when we designed our glove for the university that year, there was like a lot of people sit there and they stress and they hem and haw, but I knew exactly when I put my glove, and it was LND. So like not on the back, on the front, and I sent it to Brock. I showed it to Brock because, like Liv said, he pounded that into us because that's the mentality that you need to have. Like you feel the ground ball, you miss one, okay, well, leave no doubt, you better get the next one. Like you have to have that mentality. And like I said, I didn't play much my freshman year. I didn't perform. And so then I came, leave no doubt, I came hungry my sophomore year and I played it. So I still have my glove from my freshman year. And so all year long, every single game that I played in, I looked at the leave no doubt because that's the mentality that has been driven into me ever since I was young. And like Kylee said, people always ask me, like, I don't understand. Like they're trying to, I'm like, go ahead and guess what it means. Like I like to play the game with them when that's fun. But try to guess what it means. And then they're like, I don't know. And then I tell them, and I get to tell a story of how I had that pounded into my heart so young from 7th grade when Brock said that to me in CrossFit and in powerlifting. And you can ask Brock last year powerlifting junior year. And when I hit that 350.
Yeah, when you signed with Alivia, you decided, the coach was kind of like, well, there's no really use for you to deadlift 400 pounds. Right?
Yeah, I think that was my junior year. Yeah, I think that was my junior year. But what I was going to say was I was up there and I had to hit 350 to win. Like I had no choice but to hit 350.
That's powerlifting you're talking about, right?
Yeah, regional powerlifting, me. And what I did was I went up to Brock and he told me leave no doubt. And what I do, I go up there and I pull it. And just having the mentality, especially when I go in the batter's box, when she goes in the circle, when she goes on the field, in the water, it doesn't matter. Like you have the mentality of I did this when I was younger, why can't I do it now? So I think the leave no doubt that they have pounded into us, not even just the 4 of us, but all of us, everybody here at the Pitt community is what has made everybody their own person.
And you can feel it in the community too.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy of the league, no doubt. And we all push each other and help each other with that. And I guess I have 3 shirts that say LND. They're all different types, but they all have either LND or leave no doubt.
Vinegar.
And I have one shirt that has it on the back. And I had wore it one day on the water, and the girls can see behind me, so they can see my back. And one girl had asked me, she's like, oh, I've been looking at that, like, what does that mean? And I had told her, and then I kept wearing that shirt because it's black, so it's easy to wear. But she was like, yeah, I look at it every time, and I know that when we have 100 meters left to go, 500 meters, I look at your shirt, and I know that I leave no doubt. So it's contagious. When you say it to people, they remember, especially when you keep wearing it or keep it on your glove, or bring it to the team, they're constantly reminded, so then it becomes part of their culture and their mindset that, yes, I'm no doubt.
That's awesome.
So,
Well, if I don't say it to you guys enough, I just want to tell you guys how super proud I am of you. You're for real when I say our community is so lucky to have you guys. Not just this CrossFit community, but Three Rivers, your sport communities are so lucky to have you guys as leaders. It's obvious in this conversation what amazing leaders and human beings you are. So just one final little note, what's one quick piece of advice you can get for all the young girls listening who want to pursue athletics in the future? What's your last little bit of advice you can give them?
I think a lot of what we touched on is keep going, keep trying, push yourself, know your body, find your people, and establish that early if you can, but keep going. And it's gonna get rough. You're gonna hit your rough patch. You're gonna be like, I don't want to do this. I mean, I wasn't able to go to homecoming football games, and I was like, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to do this. My mom's like, no, keep going, keep going, keep going, and that's ultimately what
paid off for me in the end is just to keep going.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like my mom's, one of my biggest things that she likes to say is, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So like you have to understand that you're part of the very minimal percent that want to strive and be better at something. So as Kylie said, like keep going, like things are going to be hard. It's normal. And if they're not hard, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Like it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be challenging, because that's what grows you as a person and what grows you as an athlete. And no matter what it is that you want to do, try new things. Like make sure that you're happy in what you're doing. And if you're not, either find a way to be happy in that activity that you're doing or whatever it is. But if you can't, then move on and find something else, because there's more opportunities for you out there. But make sure that you know who you are as a person and how special you are as a person before you worry about other people.
Advice,
Go,
go
Gabby.
ahead, any advice you have? Yeah, go ahead, Gabby. Yes.
But quitting has never been in my vocabulary. Growing up, you can't quit, and CrossFit does that creates that as well as you don't quit. I don't think I've ever seen anybody stop like working out here. Like I've never seen somebody just give up in a CrossFit workout, because everybody around you suffering too. Like it's not just you suffering. Yes, everyone has different pain, everyone suffers different ways, but everyone does it in their own ways. And it's about you. Are you going to be able to push through what you're feeling? Because only you can feel it. And I just think that we all need to keep going and not even think about the word quit. Like, yes, everybody thinks it, but you don't ever do it. You can't quit, because that shows weakness. And you need to take rest days, but you take the rest days so you don't quit and so you don't give up. And being able to push through that mental block, that's the best advice I can give, is to not quit and keep going and everything.
Yeah. Mine was finding yourself, but actually finding the school that fits you. Because there was a point in my life where I was like, I don't want to bring up the C word, but COVID, there was a point where I was like, I'm not going to play sport in college. I just don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think the doors are open for me. Eventually, like Kylie said, kept pushing, kept going. My dad kept pushing me, my dad. And yeah, I was able to find my niche. And I didn't know whether I wanted to be at a D1 school, whether I wanted to be a big school, small school. And that's when an NAI school hit me at heart. And yeah, so being able to find where you belong with the right people and what you want to surround yourself with is probably the best advice I can give.
I would say don't compare either. Like
I agree.
I would never compare myself. Like there's no difference. What is best for you is what is best for you. I wanted nothing big. I wanted a small school in the South.
And I was the
That's
total
right.
opposite.
In the
Yeah.
sun.
Like I was the total opposite. Wanted to go to the South, but I can't do a small school. Like I needed a big university. Like I needed something that was big. Like I visited small schools and I didn't like it. But like she said, everybody's different. Like do what's best for you, not what's best for somebody else.
Be open to anything. My mom on the way down to Tulsa was like, "Why are we doing this?" and then we get on the campus and she's like, "Okay, that's why we're doing this." And it's just like you know, as soon as you are there, you will know. And so it's like, be patient. Get what you want, what you love.
Trust
you
the
want to
process.
be. Yeah, trust the
My
process.
poor
Don't-
mom, she didn't want me to move
Right.
21 hours away. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
man.
Mom, I love you.
But
You can visit whenever, and you know that.
I would say that my advice to you guys would be to listen to yourself right now.
Yes.
Because these same things
So
you're
good.
saying are going to go through your whole life. Don't quit, have grit, overcome adversity, go listen to the insecurity of men, or whatever it is. But my point is that these qualities, just like they carried you through high school and they carried you into college, and now you're having those. So the follow-up to that, the question is, where do you guys see yourselves in 10 years from now? We'll start right here and just go right around the table.
10 years from now, I'm hoping by then I have my doctorate.
Oh.
I want to be in clinicals, kind of going back and forth between child clinicals or forensic psychology. very different, but that's kind of my goal to where I'm at right now. So I'm taking those steps, and we'll see if I move back home or not. I've kind of fell in love with where I'm at, the people I surround myself with. So
What about how will fitness be in your life in 10 years?
I have to keep something competitive.
Pam.
So Pam, I want to be Pam. Pam, if you're watching this, you're a role model for us all. I love you, Pam. I can see her tomorrow. We're going to dinner. But yeah, I think that CrossFit keeps my competitive drive, and it's something that, for me, it pushes me to be a better me. And like I've said throughout a lot of this talk, is I do a lot of stuff for me. What's going to benefit me? And so I think we've already started researching CrossFit gyms down there. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. But yeah, so definitely probably will be implemented there.
10 years.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what to do in a year now.
Okay, what do
32.
Okay, no.
Post-college, post-college?
In 10 years,
All right, let's go ahead.
no, in 10, I'm
Finally iced Kali.
I'm
That's what you
the
said.
first for everything. No,
It'll take us an hour and 5 minutes.
I have always had a strong passion for helping people in the medical world. But not to be like this, but like I'm not good at school. Like I honestly have never been one to like enjoy school, even though I have the passion to go to like PT school. Like school's always been a struggle for me. It has never came easy, so it's been hard for me. And so now that I have the opportunity to be done in a year, now it's the question of, do I want to go to PT school? Do I want to go to nursing school? Do I want to go to be an OT? Like that's the question right now. Or like at a big university, you have so many connections to so many other things. But if I had to say what I'd be doing in 10 years, it's somewhere in the medical field, helping someone, whether it be physical therapy, whether it be occupational therapy, whether it be literally strength and conditioning, something along those aspects. But I'm hoping the medical route.
I haven't heard anything family related yet, so.
Oh,
That mine's coming.
Hold on, let me give a shout out to mom and dad and bro.
I just need word.
Like half
You know you're still gonna be watching this weekend.
I don't know my family.
If you know me, you know that I'm ready to have like 8 children. I want so many kids.
Okay.
And whenever they're ready, a stay-at-home mom sounds beautiful with my 8 children and my
So what happened to that?
all-black caddy.
If
want me to stay at home
you
with
invite
8
one of those
kids?
nice, cozy, insecure men,
I want an all-black caddy and
Anyways.
those are my future plans. I will have a
Exactly.
family. I hope it's in 10 years because by then I'll be 32 and I don't want somebody to be like, dude, is that your grandma? It's like, no, that's my mom. I can't do that. So that's what I'm trying to
Family, I guess.
steer from. So
Family for sure. But like I have twins, so like there's no genetics, so I'm not gonna make it very far. But
You could have done.
all right, Liv.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
So 10 years.
It's like put ring on it.
Hopefully in 3 years, that's where that will be.
Yeah,
Welcome to Charvat.
we're all
What's the time? We put that on the screen.
Is that? 10 years. I don't want to say that I'll still be in Florida because I know that it'll make both of our families very sad. But I'm, hoping to be married, definitely kids. And if it's not Florida, it's either back here at home or in between, like Tennessee. But still pursuing that nursing degree and hopefully getting my nurse practitioner's license. I don't have a specific specialty for nursing yet, but I'm thinking either peds or OR at one of the facilities. But for athletics, I agree with Kylee. I think CrossFit is a great way to continue to like push yourself. And I've experienced this with my old teammates that are already gone. They're like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do because I've always continued to like push myself through these hard fitness tests or through 90-minute soccer games. Like, what should I go into? And I'm like, CrossFit is amazing. Like,
If you want help, like I'm more than welcome to help you or find you like a great gym. I don't know one like this though, so
I guess
there
you have
is
to
no
come
gym like this.
Aw.
I know, that's why I'm saying. I love home. Move over. I
We're
love home.
gonna be real crowded. We're gonna have to use the turf. If I have to do burpees on the turf, though, I'm losing it.
No barbells on the curb.
No barbells on the turf.
I'm definitely gonna be having kids and I'm definitely gonna be married.
Hold on, 10 years, a little bit soon.
Oh,
I'll be 20.
spoken like a dad.
One kid?
I was like 3
Yeah.
and maybe I got 4. But I definitely want to do CrossFit for the rest of my life. I wanna
Until
be-
you're like Pam.
Well, I want to be like
Oh my God,
Joe.
Pam.
I love Joe.
Oh,
Joe.
yeah.
He is
Oh
me too.
boy.
But I want to give a shout out to Joe too.
12 different people.
Yeah, there is.
I know, they really are. I just worked with Joe a little bit more. And that is,
firewood.
he'll say, oh, I didn't do enough in the workout, so I'm gonna put everybody's weights away.
Yeah.
I'll walk away for a second, come back, and all my stuff is
How
cleaned
old
up.
is
70.
it? Girl 70, the strict pulls like a boss.
I can barely do
I
that.
can't do one.
I can't be alone.
And he's here every
Every
day.
morning, if he misses it, we're all worried.
But that's something that you guys have built. I mean, I'll be the first to say, like, so welcoming. You built this to be a family style gym, and it shows up and shows out every single day, every single year. So,
Thank you guys.
no, thank you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yes, and you guys have created amazing opportunities for us because without you, we would not be the athletes we are today. And the way that you guys have supported us and pushed us and helped us and provided all these things for us, we can't be more grateful for you guys.
Well, you guys definitely took advantage of them too. I mean, we can put stuff out there, but you guys have to do the work. And
Yeah.
you guys definitely took full advantage of that. Yeah, so where's Hadley to be in 10 years? So she's not here, we can talk about
We're she's gonna be married. We're so excited for that one, Hadley.
They're talking about Hadley Miller. She's another one about their age. She plays basketball locally.
Oh, she's at.
Basketball.
What's that? What's that?
Oh boy.
Hi, Hadley and Ellie. Hadley, you were
Oh,
my
Lord.
mile throughout.
But Hadley was one of the first to start it. I kind of got the ball rolling. So that's why we keep
All
mentioning
right.
Hadley. She was like one of
I
the first
mean,
ones to
we
really
have
embrace.
other, I mean, we have, Liz Set,
Yeah, I have
there's
Katie
other,
Kinney, who went in for cheerleading to college. I have Kaylee Kerwin, who went to.
We mentioned Kylee earlier.
Heidi
Heidi,
for rowing. There's so many girls
There's a
that
lot.
come
over
here.
just the last, what, 5 years? or so?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry if we're forgetting someone. I'm sure we're forgetting someone.
And the upcomings.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot
Diana
of.
Price, Ellie Yost, like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have some great
London Hawk
upcomings.
Master, I mean, there's
Yes.
a bunch, yeah. I mean, so yeah, guys, I just want to thank you guys all. This is our first one of these, so we're really excited to be able to, you guys were the first choice, right? So, we're going to start off with the ladies first. We're going to get a few guys in here, talk about them, talk about, how secure they are with their manhood, and all that kind of stuff. No, but overall, I just want to really tell you guys that we're very proud of you. And I mean,
Yes.
that gets thrown around a lot, but we mean that.
Mhm.
We've seen you grow up as little girls and growing amazing young women like you are right now, not just as athletes, but we're more proud of what you hold in a leadership format and
Amen.
as just a woman in general. And you guys are all great inspirations for all of the young people out here. So hopefully we're all watching this video someday. When we're as old as
Coming back in 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Wait,
We'll check it. Yeah, 10
A wall fly back.
Yeah, I'm
But,
gonna go back
We
over
have a
places.
nursery for all the children.
Yeah, we do.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, so we're gonna close this out with one more roll of the victory grips.
All right, guys, I'm gonna let them go ahead and
again
close up
to
their
Nick and Wendy
their
at Victory
podcast.
Grips.
And just wanted to, man, I'm just floored by so much of this content, the things that these young leaders are saying. I took so many notes, so many things to follow up on. One of the things that I wrote down was what Liv said, which is, it made us into great leaders. It's made us into great leaders. And she was talking about CrossFit and just in general. So much love for the pit here, which we love. So much love for Brock and Autumn and our community. They talked about the multi-generational things that we have going on here. They talked about each other and growing up in the gym. And they all said consistently that across the board that every, their mindsets they took into sport and they took into life, that they took that CrossFit mentality into life still and are able to live it because of that. So we got so much more coming at you, and they're all finishing up here for the night, and we'll get back at you because we got more coming.
I'll be coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Drop the top when I'm in it. Everybody know the